Good morning to all the students. So today we continue to our next chapter in electromagnetic theory. So in previous class we studied about the various conditions on the fields of a conductor. So in this class we check what happens to all the parameters, that is value of alpha, beta, intrinsic impedance, wave velocity, if the medium is a perfect conductor. Okay, so let us start our topic. So if you recall, for a perfect conductor, that means there is no resistance. So what is the conductivity? Conductivity is infinite. Similarly, there are other two parameters. For electric field, there will be what? Permittivity. For magnetic field, there will be permeability. So that's why here we write that for perfect conductor, conductivity equal to infinite, permittivity equal to E0 ER, permeability equal to mu 0 mu R. Okay. So in case of a perfect conductor, the value of alpha and beta are equal. And what is the formula? Alpha equal to beta is equal to root over of pi f sigma into mu, where pi is what? 3.14, f is frequency in hertz, sigma you know, conductivity, mu you also know, permeability. Clear? So value of alpha and beta is clear for a perfect conductor. Next let us go to your phase velocity. So if you look at phase velocity formula, what is the phase velocity formula? I told you in the earlier topic that phase velocity equal to omega by beta. Now here we found out that for perfect conductor, beta equal to how much? Root over of pi f sigma into mu. So let us put the value and check how much it is coming. So here phase velocity is equal to omega by beta, that is equal to root over of 2 into omega into mu into sigma, root over of 2 omega mu into sigma. So how this formula is there, that I have derived here. So look here. So phase velocity we know it is omega by beta. So omega, and what is the value of beta? Beta is root over of pi f mu into sigma. Now what I am doing, I am multiplying a omega here and taking root over. So what it will give? Omega square root over. So that will be omega. So root over of omega square I am writing. Now in the numerator there is a root over, in the denominator there is a root over. So both I can take common. So this is equal to root over of 2 omega square by 2 pi f mu into sigma. Now if you are confused how 2 is there, look here. So this becomes root over of what? Omega square by pi f mu into sigma. So simply I multiply a 2, I divide a 2. Clear? Okay. So if I will divide a 2 here, so this 2 pi f becomes what? Omega. And above what is there? Omega square. So omega square by omega, 1 omega cancels out. So how much remains? 2 into omega divided by mu into sigma. So that is why here I have written phase velocity is equal to omega by beta. Putting the value of beta, we obtain phase velocity equal to root over of 2 omega by mu into sigma. Clear? Okay. So next look at the value of wavelength, lambda. So already we know what is the formula for lambda. Lambda equal to 2 pi by beta. So again let us simply put the value of beta, root over of pi f mu into sigma. So lambda is equal to 2 pi by beta is equal to 2 pi by root over of pi f mu sigma. Okay. Next let us consider the intrinsic impedance. So what is the intrinsic impedance formula? Eta bar is equal to root over of j omega mu by sigma plus j omega epsilon. Now for a perfect conductor or good conductor, what happens? Conductivity is infinite. So value of omega E is very much small as compared to sigma. Since sigma values are infinite, means it is the highest value. And omega into E comes in the form of what? 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12. So see, 10 to the power minus 12 and infinite. So if you compare, it is negligible. So what we do? We neglect omega E in comparison to sigma or conductivity. So what happens? This is neglected. So how much remains? Root over of j omega mu divided by sigma. So intrinsic impedance becomes root over of j omega mu by sigma. Clear? Okay. So what happens when a plane wave is incident on the surface of a perfect conductor? Clear to you? Now what happens? Now for a perfect conductor, conductivity equal to infinite, permittivity equal to E0 ER. Similarly, permeability equal to mu 0 mu r. So putting these values, we derive the various parameters alpha equal to beta equal to this. Similarly, phase velocity is equal to this. This is the derivation of how phase velocity is. This alpha beta derivation is a very large derivation which is out of our scope. So simply we have to remember the formula. Okay. If you want to know this derivation, then you can simply give me a message. I will give you a written document. Okay. Next, your wavelength. Here we derived the formula for wavelength. Similarly, your intrinsic impedance. Okay, clear? So I will give you a problem on this. You solve and tell me the answer after watching the video. Okay. When I will post the video, subsequently I will just put a problem in there. So next, let us come to the next topic, that is reflection of wave on perfect conductor. Okay, so before going into this, you have to understand what is the meaning. Suppose I am saying that I have a plane wave. Okay, so the plane wave is propagating. Propagating means what? Moving. Now, if I am considering a single medium, then it is okay. But what if I am considering the wave is moving in two mediums? Are you getting? So two mediums mean medium 1, medium 2. So there is a boundary there. Okay, from medium 1 to medium 2 there is a boundary. So what we are going to do is we are going to take two cases, perfect conductor and dielectric. First we consider wave is going from one medium to another medium where the second medium is a perfect conductor. Second, we consider that the wave is going from one dielectric to another dielectric. Okay, that means in first case we consider medium 1 is a conductor, medium 2 is also a perfect conductor. In second case, what we consider? Okay, first medium is a dielectric, second medium is a dielectric. Clear? So this is our topic, reflection of plane wave on perfect conductor. Now before going into this, okay, so let us simply see what happens when a wave is propagating in two mediums. Let us first take general cases. Let us take simply two mediums. Let us put a wave, okay, and see what happens there. Let us find out the value of electric and magnetic fields. Then there are two coefficients that we define. One is reflection coefficient, one is transmission coefficient. Depending on the reflection and transmission coefficient, we will discuss the special cases. Clear? So let us consider a generalization first. Okay, so what I am doing now, I am considering a wave that is incident on a boundary between two different media. That is, I am considering two mediums, medium 1, medium 2. Definitely if I am considering two mediums, then means that is a boundary. There is a boundary between the two mediums. Okay, when you cross from one medium to another medium, that means you have to cross the boundary. You can understand as if it is a border between two countries. Okay, so look at the figure. So what I am considering, This is my medium 1. Now in this medium has various properties. So what are the main properties I am considering? I am considering the conductivity, electric field, so permittivity, magnetic field, so permeability. Similarly, I am considering medium 2. So again, conductivity of medium 2, electric field, so permittivity of medium 2, magnetic field, so permeability of medium 2. So now look here, suppose the wave is incident at the boundary. Wave is coming, it's propagating like this. So what happens? Now electric field I am taking EI, magnetic field I am taking HI. So when the wave is coming and it is striking at the boundary, so some part of the wave reflects back, that is called the reflected wave. Some part of the wave goes to the second medium, that is called the transmitted wave. So for the reflected wave, electric field ER, magnetic field HR. For the transmitted wave, electric field ET, transmitted wave. This simply I can add here, you can electric field ET, okay, then magnetic field HT. Clear? So this you can also take in another terms as E1, E2, E3. Okay, many books they have different notifications. So for simple purpose of understanding, I have given you that incident EI HI, reflected ER HR, transmitted ET HT. So clear what is happening? So wave is coming, it is striking at the boundary between two mediums. Then some part of the wave is reflecting back, some part of the wave is going into the second medium. So now we look at what happens to the value of electric and magnetic fields. Okay. So here the same things I have written, that let us consider plane wave is coming along the Z equal to 0 interface. So we are considering the direction of propagation is Z. Okay, so the boundary becomes what? Z equal to 0. Okay, now let us consider electric field in X component. So you know that electric field and magnetic field is perpendicular to each other. So if X is electric field and magnetic field is perpendicular, that means perpendicular to X is what? Y, because Z we have taken what? The direction of propagation. So that is why magnetic field is in Y component. Clear? So electric field is in X component, magnetic field is in Y component. Okay. So now let us look at what happens to the value of electric field. Okay. Now if you recall in the figure, in medium 1, what is there? Two things are there. Incident wave is there, reflected wave is there. So there are two electric fields, electric field of incident wave, electric field of reflected wave. Similarly, magnetic field of incident wave, magnetic field of reflected wave. So total electric and magnetic field in medium 1 is the resultant of electric field of incident wave and electric field of reflected wave. So already in wave equation solution, we know what is the general format of electric field. Okay, so E is equal to E0 e to the power minus gamma z. So here that is why the total electric field is E1 x of z. E1 means medium 1, x component propagating along z direction. Clear? So E1 means what? X component propagating along z direction. So E1 x of z equal to E1 plus e to the power minus gamma 1 z plus E1 minus e to the power gamma 1 z. Clear? What is the meaning? Now E1 plus is for what? Incident wave. E1 minus is for what? Reflected wave. So in medium 1 there are two waves, one is incident wave, one is reflected wave. Let us consider plus sign for incident wave, minus sign for reflected wave. Okay. So what happens to the total electric field? Now total electric field is the sum of incident wave field plus sum of reflected wave field. So E1 xz, E1 medium 1 x component upon z direction is equal to E1 plus. E1 plus means electric field of incident wave. E to the power minus gamma z is our solution. Okay, solution format. Gamma is what? Your phase your propagation constant. Plus E1 minus is what? For reflected wave. Again exponential gamma 1 z for medium 1 propagation constant. Clear? So similarly, if you consider the magnetic field, so what will happen? Magnetic field is in what? Y direction. So H1y of z is equal to H1 plus e to the power minus gamma 1 z. H1 plus for what? Incident wave. H1 minus for what? Reflected wave. So the equation of electric field and magnetic field in medium 1 is this. Okay. Similarly, if you consider medium 2, so in medium 2 what is there? Only your transmitted wave is there. So for transmitted wave, the total electric field is having only one component, because only in medium 2 only the transmitted wave is there. So resultant electric field in medium 2 is E2 for medium 2 x component dependent on z direction equal to E2 plus. So E2 plus means transmitted wave electric field component exponential is our general format minus gamma 2 what? Propagation constant for medium 2 z. Similarly, H2y of z, magnetic field medium 2 y component, because magnetic field is perpendicular to electric field, so y perpendicular to x. So H2y of z is equal to H2 plus e to the power minus gamma 2 z. Okay, so this is the value of the electric field in medium 1 and the electric field in medium 2. Similarly, the magnetic field in medium 1 and the magnetic field in medium 2. Clear? Again I am telling you. So in medium 1 there are two waves, one is incident wave, one is reflected wave. So total electric field is equal to sum of electric field solution of incident wave, electric field solution of reflected wave. Now we know in wave equation what is the general format. Now solution is in the format E is equal to E0 e to the power gamma z. So here the total electric field in medium 1, E1 medium 1 x component on z direction, E1 plus electric field of incident wave e to the power minus gamma 1 for medium 1 propagation constant of medium 1 z, plus what is the second wave present in medium 1? Reflected wave. So for reflected wave I am taking electric field component E1 minus e to the power again gamma 1 means propagation constant of medium 1 into z. So similarly H1yy, because y perpendicular to x, magnetic field is perpendicular to electric field. So H1y of z is equal to H1 plus e to the power minus gamma 1 z plus H1 minus e to the power gamma 1 z. Okay, clear? Similarly, when you consider medium 2, so in medium 2 what is there? Only your transmitted wave is there. Okay, if you look again the figure, so in medium 1 incident plus reflected, in medium 2 only transmitted. So in medium 2 the transmitted equations becomes how much? Now E2 medium 2 x component of z direction is equal to E2 plus electric field component in medium 2 e to the power minus gamma 2 for medium 2 propagation constant is gamma 2, okay, into z. Similarly magnetic field is equal to H2y of z is equal to H2 plus e to the power minus gamma 2 z. Okay, here you have to remember the two formulas for the value of propagation constant. So the value of propagation constant in medium 1 is equal to root over of j omega mu 1 into sigma 1 plus j omega epsilon 1. Similarly for medium 2 propagation constant gamma 2 is equal to root over of j omega mu 2 into sigma 2 plus j omega epsilon 2. Okay, so these are the value of the gamma 1 and gamma 2. Clear? So now we define two coefficients. Okay, depending on the coefficient we decide what will happen in special cases. That means what will happen if the plane wave goes from one perfect conductor to another perfect conductor. what will happen if the plane wave goes from one dielectric to another dielectric, or one insulator to another insulator? A dielectric means a insulator. So depending on the two coefficients, okay, we discuss this. So to determine the value of the two coefficient, we defined the electric and magnetic fields. Okay, so first one is your reflection coefficient. So what is reflection coefficient? This is the symbol of reflection coefficient. So reflection coefficient equal to reflected wave electric field at boundary by incident wave electric field by at boundary. Okay, so now if you look here, so incident wave, reflected wave. Now for reflected wave, what we are taking? E1 minus. For incident wave, what we are taking? E1 plus. So transmission coefficient means the ratio of reflected wave at electric field at boundary, incident wave electric field at boundary. So reflected wave mean E1 minus, incident mean E1 plus. So that is why reflection coefficient is equal to E1 minus by E1 plus. So this on solving will give you eta 2 minus eta 1 by eta 2 plus eta 1. So this directly you have to remember. Okay, the derivation is not required. So E1 minus by E1 plus equal to eta 2 minus eta 1 by eta 2 plus eta 1. Okay, so this is the reflection coefficient. Then come to the transmission coefficient. So transmission coefficient means transmitted wave electric field at the boundary by incident wave electric field at the boundary. Okay, so transmitted wave electric field at the boundary, incident wave electric field at the boundary. So now if you recall, for transmitted wave, what we are considering? For transmitted wave, what we are considering? E2 plus. For incident wave, what we are considering? E1 plus. So the transmission coefficient becomes how much? Transmitted wave electric field E2 plus divided by incident wave electric field E1 plus. So tau bar is equal to transmission coefficient is equal to E2 plus by E1 plus. On solving, this gives you 2 eta 2 by eta 2 plus eta 1. Okay, so the derivation is a very lengthy derivation. This derivation is actually by help of differential equations, then finding out the complex conjugate pairs, then rearranging. So all this is beyond our scope. So we simply focus on the formula or remember the formula. Okay, so E2 plus by E1 plus is equal to 2 eta 2 by eta 2 plus eta 1. So this gives us the transmission coefficient. Clear? And what is the relation between transmission coefficient and reflection coefficient? Transmission coefficient is equal to 1 plus reflection coefficient. Clear? Transmission coefficient is equal to 1 plus reflection coefficient. So now let us look at the two special cases. So what is the first case? First case is reflection at the boundary of a perfect conductor. Okay, reflection at the boundary of a perfect conductor. That means medium 1 is a perfect conductor, medium 2 is a perfect conductor. Okay, so now if you consider medium 2 as a perfect conductor, then already I told you for a perfect conductor, what is the value of sigma 2? Infinite. Conductivity is what? Infinite. And if the medium is a conductor, okay, then what is the resistance? Zero resistance. No resistance is there. So intrinsic impedance of medium 2, what is the symbol? Eta is the symbol. So I am writing eta 2 for medium 2. So eta 2 is equal to 0. Clear? So putting this value, so what is our transmission coefficient? Sorry, what is our reflection coefficient? Eta 2 minus eta 1 by eta 2 plus eta 1. So we know that eta 2 equal to 0. So put eta 2 equal to 0. So 0 minus eta 1 by 0 plus eta 1. So eta 1 cancels. How much remains? Minus 1. So reflection coefficient for a perfect conductor boundary is equal to minus 1. Clear? Similarly, let us consider the transmission coefficient. So transmission coefficient 2 eta 2 by eta 2 plus eta 1. Again eta 2 equal to 0. So 2 into 0 by 0 plus 1. So equal to 0. So transmission coefficient equal to 0. So that means there is no transmitted wave. So if the boundary is in a perfect conductor, that means if medium 2 is a perfect conductor, Then for a plane wave propagating from medium 1 to medium 2, there will be no transmission since the transmission coefficient is 0. So that means whatever wave is coming, okay, is coming into the boundary, same wave will reflect back. That means all the wave is reflected, there is no transmitted. So that is why here I have written that the wave is totally reflected. Clear? Okay. Similarly, what is our second case? Second case is what? Now reflection on the interface of two perfect dielectric. So in first case we consider what? One conductor, perfect conductor. Second case we consider two insulators. Medium 1 is insulator, medium 2 is insulator. So if two insulators are there, that means for insulator all values are real. Okay. Conductivity is there, permeability is there, permeability is there, permittivity is there, impedance is there. Okay. So both the transmission and reflection coefficient are real. That means there will be value of transmission and reflection coefficient, and all these values will be a real number, not a complex quantity. When you consider a perfect conductor, your what? Transmission coefficient becomes 0. But if you consider two dielectrics, then there will be a real number. Okay. Now to simplify the calculation, in case of two dielectric, we assume that both the dielectric have same permeability. Okay. That means the effect of magnetic field is same in both the dielectric. This is done to take out a value, okay, to find out a value, a easy value. Okay, to each calculation we are considering that let us assume that mu1, mu2, permeability of medium 1 is equal to permeability of medium 2 is equal to mu. So both dielectrics have the same permeability. So in this case you have to remember the formula for transmission coefficient and reflection coefficient. So what is the reflection coefficient? 1 minus root E2 by E1 or epsilon 2 by epsilon 1 by 1 plus root epsilon 2 by epsilon 1. Similarly, what is the transmission coefficient? 2 by 1 plus root epsilon 2 by epsilon 1. So on this we will be actually problems will come and we will discuss the problems in the next topic. Okay, I will give you the top problems in the form of a written format or in form of another video. So clear? Okay, so in this topic you covered your fields on the surface of a perfect conductor. So what we are finding out, we are taking a perfect conductor, a plane wave is passing through a perfect conductor. We find out various values of alpha, beta, phase velocity, intrinsic impedance, wavelength, etc. In the second case, we consider the reflection of wave on a perfect conductor. Okay, so here we consider two special cases, perfect conductor, dielectric. So first we define two medium, we put the wave, calculate the electric fields, then we define transmission coefficient, reflection coefficient, then we find out the value of reflection coefficient and transmission coefficient for what? Perfect conductor, and then for what? The value on the surface of two perfect dielectrics. Okay, so go through this video. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the online class session. Okay, so thank you to all.